Greetings, lovers of history. Welcome back to Citizen Arcane, where we talk about alternative sports and books and a lot of history. So I had recently read Black Dahlia by James Ellroy, which I really enjoyed. It was a very grim, sort of noir-esque kind of read about a period of time that I think most people sort of romanticized, at least the people that didn't live during that period of time, sort of saw those people in the days of yore as being somehow more virtuous and less likely to fall into the many vices that humans do. I have, of course, this sort of disabused me of some of those misconceptions, although I have always said that I think, people are the same. Now, our tolerance level for certain human frailties and human foibles may have changed, but ultimately, people are people, always have been and always will be, and so all of those things that people do to excess will probably remain the same. So again, Black Dahlia, a very sad story, a grim story about people seeking fame and how celebrity can turn into something very malicious. But I strongly recommend people read that book if you haven't yet. It did not inspire in me a great love of Hollywood scandal or Hollywood scandal books, though. So when I came across room 1219, the story of Fatty Arbuckle's ill-fated party, Labor Day party in what was it? Was it 1920 or 1921? I'm not sure. It ultimately resulted in the death of a young actress named Virginia Rappe, who, it's prescient. It is timely, because if you look at the Me Too movement, there has been a rush to judgment a lot of times, and the guilty have been pursued. That's true, but other people at times have had an agenda and have pursued others that are at least not as guilty as they've been made out to be. So Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle, this book sort of leans towards him being not guilty at all of anything, except for maybe being a little over exuberant in his pursuit of alcohol and maybe women, but it does not find him guilty of rape, and certainly does not find him guilty of murder, for which he was tried multiple times, hung juries a couple times, and then ultimately an acquittal. But that acquittal did not mean he could resume life as he knew it. It never did. So, there's some other books. I probably won't go too deep into this particular pigeonhole, but it is strange to me some of the linkages that there are. For example, there is a link between the Fatty Arbuckle case and even the Mary Fagan case, in that the Hirsch family was involved in politicizing it. And this book, room 1219, really gets into the idea that the Hirsch family had enough power to be ahead of the police, and apparently some of their reporters even had badges and some kind of arrest powers, and of course they were often first on the scene, especially during Prohibition. So and that also led into some linkages between the Patty Hearst case, a book that I really enjoyed, and I kept meaning to do a video on. Now it's been such a long time, I may have to read some other Patty Hearst books. Was Revolutions and the Patty Hearst kidnapping, mind control, and the secret history of Donald DeFreeze and the SLA, which kind of made the case that Patty Hearst knew Donald DeFreeze beforehand, and that Donald DeFreeze had been subject to mind control experiments by the government. But getting back to Fatty Arbuckle, there is Frame Up, the untold story of Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle by Andy Edmonds. The Day the Laughter Stopped, the true story of Fatty Arbuckle by David Yallop. David Yallop is a real historian, and I think that I may find myself reading that one. The Fatty Arbuckle Case by Leo Gould, that is a short one that might just provide a little bit more. One of the things I always say is that sometimes the more in-depth the more scholarly works don't give pictures, and the pictures of the people involved oftentimes are kind of telling. You can look into their eyes, so to speak. Anyway, let me know what you think. Has anybody read Frame Up, The Day the Laughter Died, or the Fatty Arbuckle Case? And does anybody have any recommendations about those? Please do like and subscribe. Every click helps. Every time you click on any one of our links, it helps. And have a great day.